Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Labour's thrashing in the polls, or thrashing in the election at least. They've been eviscerated in the polls. Has sort of opened the possibility that things have to change. Now, Wes Streeting came out, and this is a very odd sort of situation that's happened. Wes Streeting came out and started moving around and sort of testing the waters about a U-turn in policy, especially with regards to the winter heating allowance. And then shortly after that, number 10 threw him under the bus and said there'll be no change. They're definitely not going to do it. Why so quickly? Why did they do it in such a brutal way? Are they trying to clamp down on Wes Streeting because he might pose a threat to Starmer for the leadership role? Well, it's a fair possibility. We know that Wes Streeting is incredibly motivated, shall we say. He's very keen to get that role. But whether it comes or not is another matter. However, there was then the change of policy. They might look at increasing the level at which it cuts in and sort of thing, the allowance. But it's all, moving the deck chairs on the Titanic, isn't it? However, several is the words. It's hard sometimes. Several MPs, Labour MPs, have said that even reversing and U-turning now wouldn't be enough. The damage is done, and it's far, far too late. And these people aren't sitting there on lobby terms. Some are. Several of them are saying, well, I'll say it, but, keep your name out of it. But some are quite prepared to come out and put their names to it. Rachel Maskell, for example, who's from in York. She said a U-turn on this, or adjusting the threshold, will not win back support. The support has been lost, perhaps for some permanently, and that, it would have to make other decisions going forward that would be much more beneficial to try and offset it, she said. But even then, it would be only seen as trying to put a sticking plaster on a gaping wound. Barry Gardner for Brent, he's another one. He's come out and he's saying it's not good enough now. We're done. We're toast. Now, when you're getting MPs off record and on the record preparing to criticise the Prime Minister and the policies of the party, you know that you're in trouble. And that's the trouble you've got. You've got Keir Starmer, who's leading this rabble and destroying the country, and you've got Rachel Reeves, who hasn't got a bloody clue what she's doing. And that's before you even look at all the other reprobates and, incompetent fools they're surrounded with. There's not one decent one of them. There's not one of them's ever had a real job. Not one of them's ever lived in the real world. They're all shit. It really is. It is an absolute cesspit. And it ain't going to improve, is it? But it is nice at least to see that some Labour backbenchers are prepared to stand up and call it for what it is. Thanks very much. Bye.